Nearly 10 years ago, a family in Montgomery County was hit by tragedy. Someone broke into their home, stole expensive items, trashed the place, and worst of all, shot and killed the family's two beloved dogs named Kirby and Quigley. The case remains unsolved. After the crime, there was a push to pass a new state law to increase the penalty for crimes against animals. That law still has not passed, despite being introduced 6 times. Sabrina Dami has this 13 Investigates report.
I just want to know how you're doing right now as we're approaching 10 years since everything happened back in 2016.
It's a really good question because about a month ago, I actually started to reflect.
For Denise Crone, memories of that terrifying day have started creeping back in. She's been paying close attention to the rash of animal abuse cases across the capital region.
Rescuers today say this is one of the worst cases of animal abuse they have ever seen.
Those 55 abused animals here in Saratoga County tonight are being cared for by animal rescue groups.
The sheriff's office says it found 21 dogs dead at a pet boarding shop in Argyle.
She's been reading the tough details about recent cases NewsChannel 13 has been covering.
And then this is what just blows my mind, is because I've been talking about it and then you called.
All of that combined, she says, is inspiring her to once again lend her voice to bring change from tragedy and to get the law named in honor of her two beloved dogs finally passed.
I think at this point I'm ready to do that again.
It was February 17th, 2016, a Wednesday.
And it was about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and it was dark.
Denise left her home in Montgomery County to run some errands.
So how long were you gone for?
About an hour and a half. So I'm coming back home, and it was flurrying.
What she saw when she opened the door to her home is still so fresh in her mind.
Once I opened it up, there was this horrific scene, just like out of some horror movie.
Her home had been ransacked, and her two dogs, her beloved golden doodles, had been shot. Quigley, the gold-colored dog, had died. Kirby, the black-colored dog, held on for a short while.
He was in the kitchen, and he was still alive. Yeah, he was still breathing, and it was just horrific. But to get by Kirby, I had to, skirt by. It was just horrific amount of blood.
The landline had been pulled out of the wall.
So now I think it's a home invasion. So now I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get out of here, I gotta get out of here.
Denise was terrified that whoever did this was still inside her home. She called 911. Police searched her home for hours, processing evidence.
I was hysterical. I tell people, you can't imagine, you watch movies and you see that, and then you're living it, and it's worse.
It is a case that's always on our minds.
Montgomery County Sheriff Jeffrey Smith reviewed the case with fresh eyes when he took over as sheriff in 2019.
I tried to learn as much as I could about the case. I spoke with the victims at the time. We collected evidence. We sent it to the State Police Crime Lab, tested for DNA. We tried to lift fingerprints. We even had a partial print that was sent to the crime lab that came back inconclusive.
That's a tremendous amount of resources and effort put into this.
It is. It's nothing that, even though I wasn't here, they did not take it lightly.
Unfortunately, the person who did this is still out there, and the statute of limitations on this case has expired.
So sadly, somebody could walk in the door right now and confess to this, and although it would be beneficial because it would provide some closure to the family, we would not be able to hold them accountable criminally.
For months after the tragedy, Denise shared her story and used her voice, hoping something good would come of this.
This is the animal that they shot in cold blood.
She pushed for the passage of Kirby and Quigley's law, which would hold people accountable for harming animals while committing another crime. But the bill, introduced 6 times, has not passed. And with the case still unresolved, it all became too much.
That still is very unsettling, why I really felt I couldn't stay there anymore.
Denise has since moved hours away to Vermont, where we met her for this interview with her dog Teddy by her side. Teddy is Quigley's sister.
She's a good trail walker. She's such a good girl. Yeah.
She says she now feels ready again to fight to get stricter laws on the books in hopes of deterring criminals from harming animals.
And in my heart, I always say that Kirby and Quigley took the bullet for me, because if I'd come home sooner, it could have been me.
Denise revealed details to me that she's never publicly shared about what happened just 2 days after the burglary and the killing of her 2 dogs. We'll talk about those details in part 2 of this story coming up Monday, live at 6. Also, why has Kirby and Quigley's law not passed? What's holding it up? We'll hear from the 2 lawmakers, the co-sponsors of that bill, in part 2 of this story as well. Sabrina Dami, News Channel 13.